The King of Elfland's Daughter is a fantasy novel by Lord Dunsany, Edward Plunkett, 18th Baron of Dunsany, first published in 1924. Though regarded as a seminal work in the fantasy genre, it remained largely obscure for over 40 years until the surge in popularity of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings sparked its republication in 1969. Dunsany drew heavily on Irish myths and folklore as the backbone of this tale, much as Tolkien later employed Anglo-Saxon and Celtic legends in his writings. The story opens with a parliament of the men of Erl before their lord. The men express their discontent that, despite the Lord's fair rule, no new wonders have come in ages, and they long for a magical ruler. The Lord consents to this, for it is custom to heed the will of the Parliament, though he harbors doubts. He commands his son Alveric to journey east to Elfland and wed Lirazel, the king of Elfland's daughter, to fulfill the wish. The Lord grants Alveric his ancient battle sword, but Alveric suspects that a mere mortal blade will be no match for the enchanted elves. Seeking aid, he visits Lirazel, a witch. Though wary at first, she reveals her true dreadful form to test him, and when he shows no fear, she agrees to craft an enchanted sword for his quest. Traveling eastward, Alveric reaches the threshold of Elfland. Needing a scabbard for his new magical sword, he stops at the cottage of a renowned leatherworker. The man refuses all talk of Elfland and avoids even glancing east. When the scabbard is made, Alveric thanks him and steps into the enchanted forest encircling Elfland. Upon entering Elfland, Alveric is immediately enchanted by its breathtaking beauty, the pristine gardens and lawns surrounding the king's castle. There, he beholds an extraordinarily beautiful woman and realizes she is Lirazel, the king of Elfland's daughter. They converse. He tells her of his identity and homeland Erl. Yet the king dispatches guards to slay Alveric, and though Lirazel pleads for mercy, Alveric is forced to fight and slay the attackers with his magical sword. Lirazel reveals her father's possession of 3 magical runes and urges Alveric to flee with her before the king arrives. When they return to Erl, Alveric discovers time flows differently in Elfland. His father has long since passed. He marries Lirazel and enlists Lirazel to care for their child, foreseeing the child's magical nature. Lirazel befriends Lirazel and tutors her in magic. Their son Orion thrives, yet Lirazel is deeply unhappy. She finds Erl strange and mourns the aging and death she witnesses there. The king of Elfland, concerned for his daughter's fate among mortals, uses 1 rune to revive the slain guards and sends a 2nd rune in a message to Lirazel. At first she resists reading it, but gradually succumbs. The spell compels her to yearn for Elfland's return. Leaving Erl, she journeys back to Elfland. When Alveric discovers her absence, he follows, as does Orion after questioning Lirazel. Alveric finds the king has concealed Elfland by magic and meets Orion, who is unable to enter the realm. Alveric tells him Elfland has vanished, but Orion insists he hears its horns nightly. Obsessed, Alveric searches far and wide for the lost entrance. Traveling north, he ventures beyond the king's sensing of his sword, easing Elfland's defenses. Orion grows into a skilled hunter, even capturing a unicorn, an event celebrated by Erl's men, who see this as proof their wish for a magic lord is fulfilled. Meanwhile, Lirazel's sorrow at separation weakens Elfland itself. Unable to bear his daughter's grief, the king of Elfland uses his last rune to expand his realm, encompassing Erl. Thus, Lirazel is reunited with Alveric and Orion, and all the men of Erl dwell forever in the magical kingdom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.